Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Bit of a quiet day yesterday in the markets, but a really lot of exciting stuff, hopefully setting up soon, either later today or over the next couple of days. So it's looking pretty good. So let's get into the charts and have a look at what I'm seeing at the moment. Share my screen. And I'll stop my video. Right. Okay, let's get into this. So there's not that much right now at this very moment, just the one that I can see, which we'll quickly look at. So Aussie Swiss, higher time frames on the daily, bottom half of the screen. You see it's getting oversold, but there's a good bit of momentum heading down. But of course, there's a chance it'll turn around sometime soon. It's oversold, but not really oversold. So there may be an opportunity on the lower time frames, which there is, which is why I'm pointing this one out. So we've broken just below this major support level. And I'll show you what I'm seeing on the lower time frames, which is making this look interesting. So we zoom into the 1 hour. Right. So this is in the last couple of days, last few days. We had this big news event, big spike up, and then a recovery back down and a bounce. And then we had this kind of trend line being formed, which is respected here, here, and then break through here. And then a clear breakdown through there, below the trend line. And now I'm looking for a pullback to the hourly 50 or the daily pivot for quick one-to-one trade short. Now looking at the Elliott wave, this is what I like about it, the Elliott wave. We see a wave 1 here, this big long pullback, wave 1 down. A wave 2 complex pullback to the 1 hour 50. A wave 3 short here. Now we're going to get the wave 4 pullback, hopefully, in the next, sometime next 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Aussie Swiss, so it's Aussie being Asian, it can easily set up in the Asia session, which I'm in right now, or it's just kicking off. So I'm going to pull back here. I'll do my little squiggly lines for you. So pull back to about here when the hourly 50 catches up a bit. Just touch the hourly 50 and then break down lower for a nice quick one-to-one. That's the only one I can see setting up at this moment, but there's plenty more that I'm liking the look of. Not too distant future. There are lots of trends which look like they're in the process of changing direction. So we're looking for triggers to show that they have changed direction and we can trade reversals. So Euro USD, not my favorite pair for the setups that we use, but we've got this big breakdown in this trend line all week for the last week or so, and it's hit this level and it's been decelerating. Big bearish day here, and it's decelerating, and a nice little doji yesterday. So it's looking pretty good for a quick reversal up to maybe the daily 20. No Elliott wave, there's no other nice indications there, apart from the fact we are very oversold. There's a MACD divergence we can also see from this low here on the price action to this low, much lower, but on the MACD it's much higher. So indicating there could be a reversal around the corner sometime, and we've got the RSI very oversold. So that's looking like we could get a change of direction to some extent. And what do we have on Euro USD? We have on the 1 hour, big breakdown. It's hit this level, which is respected again here. So we're getting a kind of triangle forming here. So we could be playing the ABO, the advanced breakout strategy. If you're a bit brave, it's a bit it's a lower strike rate, but has great potential. In which case you'd be entering down here somewhere with a short down here, and you'll be trading up to the 4 hour 50. So there's a good, good 3% possibly there. We need to see this this support line here to be tested and prove its strength before we take it long. Or the safest bet is just to wait for the 1 hour 50 break and retest. And then we just play the IBO strategy. And here we have something like the 3 touches on the bottom there. You could play in the IBO and then break out to here through the 1 hour 50, retest the 1 hour 50. That's when you'll enter, and then playing up to the 4 hour. So if that's something that might play out in the next day or so. It might be today, it might be tomorrow. Waiting for break for the safer strategy, break of the 1 hour 50 and a break of the trend line. Either that, or we'll get a break down here to take to wipe all the stops, people who've already traded this long, and then prove it comes back here and produces a higher low than this one, show that it's still a trend change, and then we can take that up to, that'll be for an IBO, and you can enter the IBO down here somewhere, and then, like I said before, we get a nice risk reward on there. Right, that's euro dollar CAD. Let's see what we've got here. So we've had a very extended run up here, very bullish run, a nice doji yesterday. Because the day before was such a strong run, bit of deceleration, but not much. You need to be a bit cautious about the entry, whether it's going to be today or tomorrow. We look at the RSI, it's very, very overbought. MACD doesn't give us much because it's such a strong run up. The weekly, massive bull run there. USD, the dollar strength recently. And if we look at the monthly, we're getting up to these highs here, in the region of these highs, going back for quite a few years. Right, so we're looking for a short trade, but we need to have a lot of proof because of this, not a lot of deceleration yet. So here we are, dollar CAD on the 1 hour. I found this trend line here, looks pretty good. It's been holding for quite a while. Now, because we haven't had much deceleration, we need to play a little bit of caution here. But we want to see a break off the trend line, break of the 1 hour 50, and then we can take a short trade. Now, what we need to be careful of is, if it does break down here, break through here, it may, because we haven't had much deceleration yet, it may come back, retest this trend line, and then come down, maybe then give me an entry. That may not happen. We may not get this retest, but if we do have a retest and we've got to trade something like we have here, we enter on the pullback, then it could easily take out the stop. And then that'll be a losing trade, and then you'll get another entry potentially for a proper trade, winning trade here. Just so be careful of it. It may not pull back that much, but because of the deceleration has not been that great, just need to be careful for it. Ideally, we'll just see it pull back to the 1 hour 50, straight down to the 4 hour 50. Okay, that's dollar CAD. I like the look of that one. We need some proof that got some change of direction. We've got this strong resistance line here, which seems to be holding on the 1 hour chart. And we haven't yet got a lower low, which is what we'll get when we get this break of the 1 hour 50. Breaks below this low here, we have a lower high or a double top, and then a lower low. So that will then confirm the trend change. Right, so now we've got quite a few that are setting up not too distant future, maybe tomorrow, possibly later today, but more likely tomorrow, or what's tomorrow? It's Thursday, tomorrow Friday. Could be good at the end of the week. There could be some good opportunities coming in here. Right, we'll look at Aussie yen first. So the yen has been decelerating. We did have some yen strength, which pushed the Aussie yen down. And now it seems to be decelerating, and maybe we're going to get a quick pullback before the trend continues. Higher time frames like the weekly and the monthly show it very overbought and due for some kind of pullback. The daily has been going pretty much sideways for quite a while now, for a few months. That could well be retesting here and then pulling back down to these lows here. So we kind of a wave one down here, wave two pullback, very small, and then a big wave three. So looking for a quick pullback to the daily 50 and then a short. So this is really what I had on yesterday. We're still waiting for that break of the 1 hour 50. We poked a head up here, then straight back down again, retested. So at the moment we've got lower highs, lower lows, nothing to prove a trend change. So we need to be careful for that. Hopefully we'll get a break of the 1 hour 50 like this, pull back to the 1 hour 50, and that will give us proof of a trend change, and we can go long up to 1 hour 50, daily 50 just here, the green line, and the daily 20 just above that. And that's where we could well see a reversal and go short again for a wave 5 on the daily. We do have, I don't want to spend too much time on this because it hasn't happened yet. It's a lot of proof. But we've got a kind of trend line here. Maybe not, maybe that's something like that. So if we get a break of that trend line as well and a retest, that'd be pretty bullish in the short term. Aussie Kiwi. I'll go through this a bit faster as I go because there's quite a few and a lot of them are quite similar. Again, we got a big bullish run on maybe Monday, bit of a reversal yesterday. So is that enough deceleration? Maybe. Let's have a look on the hourly chart. This big line here, this trend line, going back quite a way. Been half broken. That's not the best of trend lines. Aussie Kiwi is not the best either. Can be a little bit erratic, but there's some kind of trend line there, it seems. We've now got a lower, it depends what happens soon, but we've got a lower high here. Maybe we'll get a lower high formed here. We get a break below this trend line, a break below the 1 hour 50. We should have lower highs and lower lows. And again, we'll just get a break, retest of the 1 hour 50, entry about there somewhere, and then play it down to the 4 hour 50. So that's a possible trade next day or so. You're okay. This one is not that clear on the daily, but it's looking quite nice on the hourly. So on the daily, we've got a wave 1 up here to the daily 50, a wave 2 pullback, a wave 3 breaking the daily 50, a wave 4 pullback to the daily 50, and now we're looking for a big low test. Was that yesterday? Day before yesterday. Low test, and then we're looking just to play it long up for wave 5. So it's wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to these highs. Lower time frame. We have deceleration here as it pulled back. And this big news event, which and a big market move there. They're breaking up above, and we've now got higher lows, but we haven't got any higher highs yet. It's been a bit messy because of this news, but now it's settled down. The 4 hour 50 is this blue line. So I'm looking for a break above the 1 hour 50 and a break above the 4 hour 50. And just below us, we've got the daily 50 and daily 20 just down here. So that'll be good support. It could be a nice little trade there. We're going to break the 4 hour 50. So I've done my little thing in here. Break above 4 hour 50 to give higher the high, pull back to 4 hour 50, and then trade it to those highs. So that could be a nice one selling up soon, next day or two. Euro pound. Pound's had that big move. It's kind of settling down a bit now. Looks a bit wild on the charts, but it's kind of settling down. So it's a bit of caution. So a big high test here on the daily, and then we had a bearish day yesterday. So we're looking for a short here, maybe. Got a good level here, which is respected, and maybe we're going to play back down to the daily 20 or something. A little reversal. On the hourly chart, we have, what is this line here? It's not very helpful. What was that? Right, so we've got this big news event here, pullback. It's messing around with the hourly 50 at the moment. We're going to go short, so wait for a break of the hourly 50, and then a pullback. Again, similar kind of thing, break here, and here somewhere, pullback, and then down to that 4 hour 50, which is this blue line, or you could take it short to the daily 20. Or just use trade management to trail the swings, whatever your trade management strategy is. So that's euro pound. That's looking quite good. That's settled down. There's a few euros, a few pounds, and some kiwis coming up too. So this one is a euro kiwi. Again, we had a bullish day 4 days ago. Deceleration day yesterday, not quite proven deceleration yet, so we've got to be cautious. But it's looking like it's going to be a pullback to day 20 perhaps. Elliott wave 1, 2, and then wave 3 seems to be broken down as well. Just remember, Elliott wave is fractal. So in wave 3, we've got a wave 1, wave 2 pullback, big wave 3, wave 4 pullback, and a wave 5. So that's completed wave 3. Then we've got a wave 4 pullback and maybe a wave 5 after that. So it could be a wave 4 and a wave 5 happening soon. On the hourly, we've got a big spike up. So it's settled down a bit. Now we've got a lower high. I found this trend line here, which kind of makes sense. It's respected on the way up, broken, retested. And now we need to prove for this lower high. Hopefully this will head trend down now. So we've got the proof of a lower high. And once we get a break of the hourly 50, we could then be looking at pullback to the hourly 50 and trade down to the 4 hour 50. So that's something that might turn up soon. That's looking good. Pound CAD. Again, big spike down. Looking a little bit bullish yesterday. On the hourly, we need proof, so we need to see a break above the 1 hour 50, a nice clean break, pull back, and then trade it long from there. So that's pound CAD that might turn up soon. Pound Swiss is looking pretty similar, very similar looking chart on the daily. Big pullback and then spike lower, and now we're looking for exactly the same thing here. A break of the hourly 50, pull back and trade it long. That's Swiss, Kiwi, CAD. As you can see, there's lots of things that may play out soon. So we have to wait and see. So Kiwi, CAD, we've got this level down. Oops. Level down here. Good deceleration. Well, pretty good deceleration. We need proof it's actually changed direction. And this is what we're looking at. Yeah, it's quite a major level here. I won't go into it right now because it takes too long, but I think there could be a strong level there. And on the hourly, we have deceleration here. We've got some lower lows. I expect going to the MACD, we've got higher lows. Yep, it's got higher lows on the MACD on the hourly, so that's a big divergence. So we've got lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the MACD, and on the RSI too. implying it's going to have some kind of pullback. And maybe we'll get a long trade from here as it breaks through the hourly 50. We can trade it back up to the 4-hour 50. So that's something to keep an eye on. Kiwi yen. A bit faster now because these are all very similar. Similar kind of very, very bearish action. A bit of a deceleration day yesterday. Maybe a change of trend. Got a major level. I'll check that if we go way back. That's on the daily. On the hourly, we've got a horizontal line there, support level there. We've got a triangle forming. So again, like I explained before, we can have an ABO. We're doing a breakout if we get proof of this support level holding, or even a quick wipe of the stops and then pull back and retest. It could be an ABO to 4-hour 50. That'd be nice. Or the safer trade would be waiting for the break of the 1-hour 50 and this trend line, and then a pullback. So that'll be a little bit later, and then the stop will be a little bit higher. So that's something that may play out very soon. QUSD probably looking very similar. Yeah, very similar. Very bearish. Waiting for some proof of deceleration and change of direction. Again, we've got a triangle forming. Very similar to the last one, Kiwi yen. Support level, triangle, either an ABO from here or an IBO on the retest of the 1-hour 50. That looks nice too. Dollar yen, quickly go through these last two. Dollar yen, this has been going on for a while, hasn't it? It's been topping out here, but it's not really breaking up higher or lower. It's not really doing much. So we need proof of it trading lower. On the weekly, we've got a massive run up. I'm sure it's very, very overbought. So, and we've got some kind of MACD thing here happening as well. These two highs being about the same on the MACD, but way higher on the weekly on the price action. That's implying that we're going to get some kind of trend change. We see on the monthly how bullish the USD has been against the yen. But we need to see some kind of reversal in the lower time frames. Daily's not giving us much yet. On the hourly, we have trend line here, which seems to be still being respected to some extent. Got a few things going here, man. We'll probably get rid of that one now. Trend line. So when this trend line does finally break, new trend line in here, I've just seen recent ones, that as well. We're still getting, apart from this high here, we're still getting higher highs and higher lows. So we need some kind of proof. And it can either be the breakdown here of these trend lines, and pull back to the 1-hour 50, and then trading it short to the 4-hour 50 or beyond. Or that's fair enough. That can happen. That can give us a trade. If not, the safest bet will be wait for the break of the 4-hour 50. So this will be doing this. Eventually, it will break the 4-hour 50, and then back to the 4-hour 50, and then trading short as the daily 20. Either or and even. So possibly short trades there on dollar yen. Liking the look of that when we get proof of a trend change. And dollar Swiss, lucky last. Major level here. It's tested a couple of days ago. Yesterday was a kind of bearish looking candle. So looking for some proof of deceleration here, proof of trend change, and we've got a trend line here, support, broken, now resistance. We have a very good high here, and hopefully we get a lower high here. Now when we get a trend change, when we get a hopefully get a lower high, pulling down here to a lower low. That's the 1 hour 50 and trade down to the 4 hour 50. That's looking quite nice. Trend change on the 1 hour 50. If you get this price action, of course, we're all speculating. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but it's always good fun to do this. And when it does play out, it makes you feel good. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the 4 hour. We don't look at the 4 hour very much. The 4 hour is giving us higher highs and higher lows. But if you do get this lower here, this downward bearish price action, then I'll zoom into the 4 hour so it's clear what I'm talking about. Then we will have proof of a lower high and a lower low on the 4 hour, which is very good for a proof of trend change. Okay, there we go. That's what I have. Share. Whoops, my video gone. Okay. All right, welcome back. Yeah, so lots of potential things setting up over the next today or towards the end of the week. So it could be very exciting. We'll see how it will happen, what actually happens. I hope you found it useful. I hope you've got some educational content out of that and some ideas for some trades. And I'll have good luck in the markets today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, take care. See ya.